ASYLUM. That's crazy.
Honey, sing the song.
Cult.
must be some place in this world where we can live in peace with our people.
He is from a future world, trapped in another time, searching for his past. A hunter of incredible power and strength. He is the warrior known as You're the Hunter from the Future. Rated PG. Coming soon to a theater near you.
The supreme galactic spectacle. Star Crash. You will be blasted into the blackness of 100 million nights, into an incredible universe of fantastic sights and sounds beyond your wildest dreams. Star Crash, rated PG.
Star Crash. There's like
The Adventure of Stella Star.
We're joined by Stephen Ross next week, who is the writer of the new You're the Hunter from the Future comic book that's out this week from Antarctic Press. The first issue just came out this Wednesday. Grab it at a comic book store near you or ask him to order it. It is actual reprints of the original Argentinian book, the first time ever translated into English in 50 years of You're. So it's pretty awesome. So if you're a big You're geek like me, might be the biggest. Steven's pretty close though, and he has some other really cool projects that will be very interesting to the folks that watch the show. So I'm super excited.
It looks like Nora didn't like Dark Star.
Aw.
I love when Nora hates the movie.
Yeah.
She hates on nobody hates on movies quite like she does.
No. But I liked it. I actually really enjoyed it this time coming back to it. In the end, I saw Pete said the end's really great. Like it's how many movies have a philosophical argument with a bomb? Close the film. Yeah. And the bomb ends up being smarter than everybody. Doesn't happen too often.
Argue phenomenology with it.
Yeah.
This is the nightmare of AI, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tracy said if she was watching next week, she would watch the riff tracks of You're and the MS-33K of Star Crash. I got to tell you, non-ironically, these are right up there with my two favorite movies of all time. I have seen You're probably 50 times. Bring us the choice meats, as You're says in the beginning. I also have the You're Italian series, which is longer and actually much better. And he's not as big of an idiot in the actual series. And Star Crash, I saw it at the drive-in with Battle Beyond the Stars. It's the first Italian movie that I saw, and it got me super into Italian movies and Carolyn Monroe and Marjorie Gortner and all the things, Joe Spinell, all the things that have inspired me over the years. So I blame both these movies. So I'm very excited. Also, at that same drive-in night, they showed a trailer for You're, and I said to my dad, we should go see that. He said, no, it looks like a piece of shit. I don't know if he was wrong or right, but it has obsessed me ever since. So last year a couple months ago at the Drive-In Monsterama, we went to Star Crash, and everybody was shocked by how much they loved it. And it's an incredible film. It's a movie made by a director that was told to make a movie like Star Wars and had never seen Star Wars, but had seen Flash Gordon, and that's what makes it great. You're completely lives up to everything I love about it. It is a big dumb action movie. Antonio Marghetti is one of my favorite directors. It's got miniatures in it. It's got Star Wars ripoff stuff on it, but it's very close to the comics. A lot more philosophical and a lot wilder. But yeah. So, anyways, these are two movies that are very dear to my heart, and I'm super excited to watch them next week with everybody and to talk to Steven about them, who is a You're super fan, who also, his first email he sent me is like, well, I know we're on the same wavelength because your favorite movies on Letterboxd are Danger Diabolic and Flash Gordon. So obviously you have good taste. And I said, yeah, I guess.
I saw You're in the theater when it opened
Oh,
back
wow.
in the day. And there was a pretty packed house, and there was dead silence as the thing played out.
Oh no!
Because people just didn't get it.
Oh.
They didn't appreciate
How did they
it.
appreciate
I
that
did.
Oliver Onion soundtrack that's in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oliver Onion.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite soundtracks. It's so bombastic. It's like near Queen levels of bombastic, but not as good. And I love it. It's great.
Oliver Onions, who did the Alien 2 soundtrack too.
On Earth. Yeah.
On Earth.
Yeah.
Alien 2.
On Earth.
I like the fact that your has the French actress Corinne Claret in it from The Story of O.
And The Devil's Honey by Fulci.
Yeah. Quite a movie.
Yeah.
Crazy movie.
A crazy. Like you'll never see a movie with a nail painting scene so intense, or a motorcycle scene.
The Devil's Horny Honey.
Yeah, The Devil's Horny Honey. It's like wow. Like
was there a coloring book?
Yeah, at the end of his life, Fulci's like, I'm going to stop tearing out eyes and make a really dirty movie, and he did it. Genius.
There's a saxophone scene in The Devil's
Oh
Honey,
my god!
too.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. The saxophone scene defies physics and reality. There's no way that works. But yeah, but you know what? We'd like to think it does. It's Fulci's 9.5 weeks. Joe D'Amato's got like 6 of 9.5 weeks because he did 11 Days, 11 Nights, which isn't really 9.5 weeks, but he made like 7 of them, and I've watched all of them multiple times.
Yeah, we're here in the third segment, and I have small bottles of Jaeger that I got in a pack for like the second.
You're going to drink one right now, right?
What do you think? Go for it?
Of course.
All right. Of course.
Pretend you're on an airplane.
That's Jaeger.
Yeah.
I had a book by a guy who's an expert on cocktails. His name is Anthony Blue, and it's a dictionary you can go through, and he has Malort in there and all of them. And you know what his entry on Jägermeister is? Something for college kids to get messed up real fast.
Oh, well.
I knew a couple people that used to drink Mad Dog to get messed up real fast.
It's a fun drink. I have a bunch in my fridge. I'm not going to lie to you.
Mad Dog?
Well,
ew.
Yeah. I have orange, and I have a couple other ones in there, yeah.
Talk about cough syrup. You do like the taste of cough syrup.
I do. I grew up in Elwood City. That's like a fine alcohol in Elwood City. That's the champagne of Elwood City. Is
keep on keeping on.
Yeah.
When I was in school in Philadelphia, they had a blood bank next to a state store. So all the winos would go into the blood bank, give plasma, and then they'd come over to the state store. And it was one of the old school Pennsylvania state stores where you couldn't walk around.
Yeah.
They had a counter. You had to ask the clerk for what you wanted. So I went in there one time and I asked the guy because the winos would always order the same thing. It was always give me the bird, which was Thunderbird.
Yeah.
And he had it right under the counter and he pulled it up. And then the other one was TJ Swan.
Oh, yeah.
There was TJ Swan's Easy Days and TJ Swan's Mellow Nights. So I asked the clerk one time, I said, well, what's the difference between this stuff? And he pulled the bottles up. He goes, Easy Days, it's light colored. Mellow Nights, it's dark colored. Drinks that fit in that category of fortified wine.
There's also Night Train too.
Night Train. I was going to bring that up.
It's no accident that Guns N' Roses wrote a song about it. I mean, Night Train works.
Fleetwood for the wine that's fine.
Night Train Murder.
Yeah, Fleetwood.
Fred Sanford used to drink Ripple too. That's the other one I remember.
Ripple, yeah. But they can't. I guess they can't call it what it actually is, which is powdered Kool-Aid and alcohol. There's nothing natural in there at all. But. No. Yeah, those were the days.
Yeah, they'll work. They
work.
I think I tried Night Train too. No wonder I did. I never drank until I was like 27.
I had it at some of my Labor Day parties. I had some Night Train before.
But I had tasted stuff, and I was like, ew. I had some of the Mad Dog in college. I was like, this is disgusting.
Yeah.
I like J
What
and
did
B
I
though,
know?
Bill. So I mean,
Yeah, that too.
yeah, I know.
I'm gonna buy a bottle of J&B, pour it down the drain, and fill it with something I actually like, and then
Yeah.
just have a J&B moment all the time.
I love J&B.
Richard Nixon used to do that with wines. He'd buy get fancy bottles of French wines, dump it out, and put his domestic California shit in that he liked.
Roger says, "What's locker room?" I never saw what had locker room.
Yeah, what's locker room?
Huh.
No, I never heard of that before.
Mm-mm.
If we're talking about bad alcohol.
Yeah. I thought I tasted it all, the bad alcohols.
It. Like the whole audio experience of Dark Star is so mellow.
Yeah.
Like, of course, it's a weed movie.
Yeah. And then it raises some big question to think through at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yeah. It's like a budget's 2001. It's 1,000.5. It's everything you can pour into it is locker room. That's what Roger said. Just
exactly.
Whatever you put in.
I understand in Benson, Arizona, there's a Dark Star Road that's named after the movie.
Oh, wow. That song's really cool at the end. It's what?
A cool little song.
Speaking of songs I love in movies, Don Coscarelli posted the song from Phantasm this week, and he's like, "Never a bad time to post this." And that's what I love about Phantasm, for as terrifying of a movie it is at times and as big ideas it has. It's also a movie that slows down just long enough to have a jam song that you can come finish up your ice cream job, jump off the truck, you already have a guitar, and you come right into the song, even though the song's been playing for a while. That's a weed movie too. Phantasm is a definite.
Oh, it's totally a weed movie.
Yeah, it's totally.
The Country Girl was on today.
Mm.
That movie with Bing Crosby and Grace
Crosby.
Bing Crosby is an alcoholic, and Grace Kelly keeps trying to keep him sober, and she's up because he's drinking this cough syrup. And she's like, "There's so much alcohol in this. No wonder you keep drinking this." She would have been pissed about the night train.
Yeah. Well, as a kid, I was like, well, if Guns N' Roses are going to sing about it, I'm going to drink it.
Ooh, we lost AC Nicholas.
Yeah, I saw him. The satellite of love is out of orbit.
He'll be back.
Yeah. Yeah. But there he is. I can see him.
There he comes.
He's coming back into our orbit.
Like materializing from the netherworld.
There he is.
There we go. Now we're reordered correctly.
Well, that lava lamp is great, Bill. I love that.
Isn't it groovy?
It is. It's total. This is the weed episode of Driving to Silence.
Now you're seeing it. You're feeling
it. Yeah. I didn't even imbibe, and yet yeah, it's the Jaeger episode.
Is that what happened to your camera?
I flipped it. I was unflipped.
So I meant AC Nicholas.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, I don't know what happened. It just knocked me off for some reason.
Yeah, It had something to do with the Jaeger.
Philip says here he just watched that clip of Tom Hanks in Family Ties drinking vanilla extract. Yeah, that was a very special episode.
Ew.
Yeah. I like when a special episode happens on a show where there's a character you've never seen before shows up and they have a problem and everybody rallies around him to help it, or a bad kid shows up in the school and is a drug dealer. And you know what I learned from those? Like, you can just tell a drug dealer, like, drugs are dumb, all right? Get out of here. And the kid, and everybody goes, yeah, and the audience cheers. And the kid just walks away. Like, yeah, okay.
It's very easy
or
to
Gordon
discourage
Chump shows up as a pedophile.
Yeah, exactly.
Gary Coleman.
Yeah. What's crazy is, like, they're still making jokes in that episode. Like, even after,
I know.
It's like everybody is laughing about Dudley and stuff, and it's like Dudley is going to be fucked up for the rest of his life. And we just let it go. I love a special episodes though, because it's always like, I would tell my brother all the time that it was the last episode. There's one episode of Different Strokes where they get locked in a freezer, and it's like a bottle episode where or one of the ones, the recap episodes where they keep showing, like, remember when we did this? Remember when we did this? And he was like so worried about it. And my brother couldn't read. My brother has dyslexia, and he said to me, he said, "Did you read in TV Guide what happens?" And I'm like, "Yeah, this is the last episode. Willis and Arnold die." And he ran out, ran out and told my mom, crying. My mom comes in, she
Oh.
goes, "You know your brother can't read. You can't tell him that they're going to die." I'm like, "Yeah, Mom, I read it. It's the last episode." And she's like, "It's not the last episode. It's like the number one show on TV. They're not going to cancel it."
That's
So
terrible.
it is terrible. It's funny though. I did that so I could tell the story 40 years later.
Right.
You
Or
know?
as Daryl says, a very special episode of the Drive-In Asylum.
Yeah.
I remember
well,
the episode of One Day at a Time that was like that, where Anne and the girls go to Schneider's cabin, and he tells them that like it's, you know, this fabulous cabin out there, and they get there and it's like this shabby hunting cabin, and it's freezing and there's no heat, and it has a water bed and it's frozen, and the rest of the episode is just them like remembering things. It's like,
Oh,
no, this isn't an episode.
no, it's like they're like, we don't have a script this week. Let's
it's like
just
the economy. It's like the economy chapter of those old serials
yeah.
where Dr. Zarkov tells Dale, "Remember when Flash beat the forest people?" And they flash back to some other,
Oh.
episode of the
Yeah.
serial.
I
Flash Gordon.
never realized that the same guy who plays Jed Porkins in Star Wars is the same guy who uh, is Zarkov's lab assistant that quits. He's also the detective in Batman that Jack Nicholson kills. They're all the same actor. It blew my mind this week, and he's in Indiana Jones too. He's can't remember who he is in that. In Raiders, but yeah, TV movies, and special episodes kind of gave me my knowledge of stuff. I just hate though whenever sitcoms get serious for a bit, and it's just like life is so horrible anyway right now. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's why do I have to, like, I don't want an object lesson on life right now. I just want to see goofy stuff happen. 2D doesn't have to get into blow. You know what I mean?
I remember when they found the bongs.
Oh yeah.
Remember? Or they someone had a bong, and then Tootie and Natalie didn't know what that meant, and Blair told them it was to hold jelly beans. So they go out and they buy Mrs. Garrett 3 bongs and bring them back to her.
Oh yeah, yeah.
She's like, "Girls, these aren't for jelly beans. This is
Yeah.
to smoke marijuana."
Yeah,
I
Charlotte
liked-
Ray always had that little thing where she'd quiver her lip and she'd get really emotional in her voice.
You remember that episode of Saved by the Bell where Nomi Malone got hooked on diet pills?
Yep.
No, but I love hearing about it.
It's the best where she's like, I'm so excited, and she's singing it. She's like, I'm so scared. She's they're keeping her awake so she can study and do all the other stuff she has to do in school. And yeah, it's pretty great.
The day my kid went punk. I remember that.
Is it as good as the Quincy Punk episode? Because that's one of my favorites.
No, it's not as good as the Quincy Punk episode. It's close though.
Yeah. Roger Braden said he's all about Joe. 100%. Roger, you're you know what's up. None of the other, like, Blair was like too, like, oh, she would be so high maintenance and she was rich, and like Tootie was too young for me. Natalie was cool. I'd probably like Natalie too. And then, but like Joe was like, oh, she probably kicked my ass, and she was kind of mean. So of course, who I chose of the, if you had to choose someone on Facts of Life.
Joe was scary.
She was. I loved it.
At least early on, she was.
She was kind of, yeah.
She was kind of like Joan Jett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was like a switchblade sister that showed up in the middle of Charlotte Ray's kitchen. And you're like, oh, okay. But yeah, she did.
And Stacy Q.
Oh, man,
Wasn't
what a
she on
show.
that show a couple of times.
Molly Ringwald was on the first season too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We were talking about spinoffs that work and don't work a couple shows ago. And that's one of the few ones I can think of that is like a spinoff that works. Do you know what I mean? Like, because Mrs. G was Arnold and Willis's maid, and then she did that, and like it totally worked. Like everything.
It went on longer than Different Strokes did.
Yeah, and they even had TV movies out of it too, or they like went to Paris and stuff. But then like they tried doing it again with Hello Larry, and that didn't work that well. It made 2 seasons. I mean, I guess that's fine. But McLean Stevenson should have never left MASH. I mean,
No.
I like that he left MASH and they're like, "Hey, you know what? You're never coming back. So we're killing you." And like,
Yeah.
then that episode, like, he's not even on screen when it happens, and they just get a note. They're like, "He died." Like, and I'm sure like he watched it, and they didn't tell him until he watched it, And they're like, "Oh, great! Now I got to succeed with Hello, Larry."
Talk about a star that killed his career by leaving MASH. The other one I can think of is David Caruso in Hill Street Blues.
Oh my God, yeah.
Poor him.
He was
did
too big for TV. He would do movies.
He was in Without Warning, but that was before Hill Street Blues.
Yeah, Without Warning.
Yeah, but he came back. He came back to TV. And he did CSI and everything was fun. He was always forgiven.
CSI.
The prodigal son.
The prodigal redhead has returned. Oh, David Caruso. Oh, Bill, I have big news about the Severin thing. Do you want to hear what movies? I have some more new movies that are coming out.
Yes, and yes.
It's very exciting.
Yes, tell us all, Sam.
All right. Well, first off, you guys may or may not know there's a new All the Haunts box set, volume 2. It's going to have The Legend of Hillbilly John, The Enchanted, Psychomania, To Fire You Come at Last, Legend of the Reindeer Woman, which is awesome. A lot of movies I can't pronounce, like they're from all over the world. Born of Fire is another one. Susanna, the Queen of Black Magic, Beauty and the Beast, Bekaneko, the Vengeful Spirit, which is really good, and The Ninth Heart, which is awesome. So there's some really good stuff on that set. Lighton's on it, which I love, and City of the Dead's on it too, Bill, which is pretty cool. And that's going to be out this year, and of course, it comes with a ton of like wacky stuff, as all these sets do. And then they announced tonight there's one more set of movies they haven't announced yet. But so far tonight, they have announced The Glass Ceiling, El Tecno de Cristal. It's Eloy de Iglesias movie.
I've seen that. It's pretty good.
This is an exciting one for me. Terror Creatures from the Grave.
Ooh.
Yeah. So pretty exciting. Ark of the Sun God, also exciting for me. And Delicatessen, which is a big release for them. That's pretty wild that they're putting that out. And Bill, The Virgin of Nuremberg.
Oh, wow.
In Nuremberg, yeah.
What's the other title?
I can't remember what the other title is.
Is that Horror Castle?
Yeah. Tessus, which I don't know anything about. I've never seen that.
Oh, Tessus is Amenabar's first film, right?
Oh, okay.
It's excellent. Awesome. It's excellent.
Another movie for me, Hell of the Living Dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
And another movie for me, La Machera del Demono, Demons 5, The Devil's Veil, which is the Bava Demons 5 is coming out from them. And Russ Meyer's Super Vixens, which is bonkers exciting. That I always feel like that Russ Meyer is not as much in the conversation of movies because his films are so hard to find and aren't commercially available outside of like 2 or 3. So I'm really excited that this is coming out. So that's real good. And the Dracula Saga, which is another great one. So, and Bill, there's a movie called Poppers, which I've never seen, from 1984.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah. I think it's a Spanish movie. And Rat's Night of Terror is coming out too.
Oh, God. Yeah. What was your reaction when you got that news?
Oh my God. I don't even know if I can tell you the level of excitement. And then we talked off camera a bit ago, but Arabella Black Angel's coming out from Vinegar Syndrome, which
Clay, you must be new to this show. Sam and I are on that Blu-ray for Despiser. We did one of the commentary tracks, and there's like a promo that's been playing all night, but maybe you just tuned in. So that's awesome that you're excited about that.
Yeah, it's an awesome movie. You are right. It's trippy ass amazing movie. That is a great way of describing it. So
we were both so glad about that because it was a movie we had never seen until we got that assignment, and we were like, wow, this is really good.
Yeah, he sent me the owner of Visual Vengeance sent us the trailer, and he's like, "You guys want to do this one?" I'm like, "Holy shit, yeah!" Like I know nothing about it. Like I gotta do it. So super excited. So that's great. One more set of Severn announcements coming. Who knows what they'll be? Um, my dream Thunder box set. It's never going to happen. Though Thunder 1 and 2 are on Tubi, so there are high quality versions of them available. So that would be great. And everybody, of course, everybody's questions were like about, the movie, every movie's, the movies that are never coming out on Blu-ray. Are you guys going to put these out? And Lamora got asked like right away. A lot of people thought Lamora was going to be in the All the Haunts Volume 2 set, which means I would have to buy it because even if it's too, I'm like, well,
I mean, I don't know why that hasn't materialized yet, but it's really frustrating.
Yeah. Oh, and here's what came in the mail this week. How about that? Speaking of Vinegar Syndrome, this is one of the releases I'm most excited about. Trampa Infernal, which is in English Hell's Trap. Imagine if you took Friday the 13th, Michael Myers and Freddy Krueger, put them in the woods with a bear, and had a bunch of paintball loving guys run into him. It's great. It's really good, by the director of one of my favorite Mexican movies, Vacation of Terror 2. It is highest recommendation for that. I got this from Synapse, sent me this. This is the Intensely Independent, the micro-budget films of Blake Eckert that just came out. Haven't watched it yet. That looks pretty cool. Got two from Radiance. We got A Man on His Knees and Tattooed Life. And finally, this is another one I'm super excited about. This is from Blue Underground. It is a 4K of High Crime with Franco Nero in it.
Oh,
yeah.
So really, really excited. So going to be watching that probably tomorrow after I get done painting. But it's got Fernando Rey in it. It's got Delia Bacardo from Tentacles is in it. It's an Enzo Castellari movie. Of course, I'm going to love it before I even watch it. I'm already pre-sold on anything Enzo does. So very excited. So that's what came in the mail this week. And I'm also doing the London Fear Fest, and I'm a couple movies in. And tomorrow, Bill, I get to watch Mutilator 2, which I'm very excited about, aka Winter Break. That's what I'm calling it, not Fall Break.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
You said tomorrow, Bill, but AC Nicholas is here too.
I always do this. I do
me
all the time. I only talk to you.
okay.
I'm sorry, AC. AC, tomorrow I'll be watching it.
We're both on the show.
I know you are, and I apologize. I'm not trying to be rude.
No.
I always do this because I'm always like, so excited. Anyways, watching that tomorrow. Oh, more Jaeger? Yes. Maybe
I think really should.
Yeah. But I have a ton of movies for this event, and I'm just really excited. They have a really good lineup, and I'll be doing Fantastic Fest again this year, which I'm really jazzed about. Yeah. So
that's great.
Yeah, that's going to be in September. But I watched a movie called Cinderella's Curse this week and Carnage for Christmas that were both pretty good. The Invisible Raptor is super good. There is a 4K of The Hitcher that's playing this Fear Fest. Children of the Wicker Man, which is a documentary about the children that were left behind by the director of The Wicker Man and what their life was like, knowing that their dad's movie was more important than them. That's going to be pretty wild. There's another one, a Christopher Lee documentary too, that is, and another documentary about Boutique to Preserve and Collect, and Mermaid Legend. There's a new 4K of that, and a Samurai in Time. A new 4K of Nightmare on Elm Street, and the other movie that I will be watching that I would recommend that I already saw from it that I think more people should see. It just is out in the theaters this week. AC, did you see Strange Darling yet?
No, I was going to go tomorrow.
It's great.
Today, rather. Today.
It's awesome.
I heard it's excellent.
Yeah, it's very Tarantino-ish. It's like plays with like how time works in the film, and it's really cool. So I love it. I saw it at Chattanooga Film Fest, and
Yeah,
was like,
because you had it reviewed on your site already.
yeah, and I was really blown away by it. I'm glad it's getting a somewhat decent release of stuff in it. It's actually playing in theaters. It's so weird because like Longlegs is already on digital, and it's like stuff is like out before. Like if you don't go see it the first or second week, it's like kind of like when small movies played back in the day. Like, but they're big movies, and if you don't go see them outside of like a Marvel movie or like a major release, like you might not see it in the theater. So, but yeah, I would recommend that one of non 80s movies. And then Bill, you already put up that Tarantino podcast, and AC is going to be on it on Friday with Jen Upton. And I have a new podcast that went up yesterday for The Fan, Bill, the Lauren Bacall movie.
I saw that. I already listened to it.
What did you think?
Oh, it's awesome. I love your podcast.
Oh, well, thank you.
I always put it on while I'm working during the week.
I do too.
I don't listen to every single episode because I always find myself behind. And I'm like, which ones do I go back and listen to now? But yeah, I love your theme music.
Yeah. This week on the site too, I'm doing the Johnny Legend Something Weird picks. The movies that were like put out by him. So like we have Night of the Cat, The Violent Years, High School Big Shot, Dementia, which we watched on the show with Brett, She-Man, which is what's his name's first
Bob
movie?
Clark.
Bob Clark's first movie, yeah. The Touch of Flesh, Pagan Island, Scream of the Butterfly, The Beatniks, Mondo.
Scream of the Butterfly. I fucking love that movie.
Oh, maybe we should do it on the show.
Have you seen that?
No, I haven't seen it yet. I'm so excited for it. I just downloaded it.
Oh my god, you would both love a Scream of the Butterfly. Oh, the actress's name is on the tip of my tongue and I can't think of it because it's the third segment, but she is so beautiful. Like she almost turned me while I was watching it. I was like, wow, this is like super sexy.
Oh wow.
And it's just a really weird
Nolita Lobato.
It's like Blood Mania. The plot is very similar to Blood Mania.
Oh. Well, I'm sold then.
You're gonna love it.
I'm sold.
Yeah. Wow, it looks really good just from looking at the pictures. And Ron Haydock's in it, so yeah, of course I'm gonna like it. Okay. Wow. Yeah, and more Shaw Brothers. This is the last week of Shaw Brothers month. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't have any plan for next month yet. I think I might do Canon stuff next month and New Line. But yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. I love the Violent Years in High School Big Shot, Tracy, because they're depressing, but I love movies that are just complete junk. And also, like, I like movies where teens try to go against the world, especially like teenage girls, like usually with Mamie Van Doren, fight cops and stuff. And it's like, there's no way they can win. That's a genre in and out of itself. That's one of my favorite genres. I love it. That's why I like She Devils on Wheels. It's very similar. It's like it posits a world where female gangs of motorcycle riders are more powerful than the cops. Like they just walk out of jail at the end of the movie. Also, guys love them so much that like guys fight to the death to get to sleep with one of them. And if you sleep with them more than once, they drag you behind their motorcycles and kill you. 300 stars out of 5. no notes.
You're an affable pervert, Sam Panico.
I am. That's okay though. I've been watching all those Finley movies. AC and I were talking about it.
Oh.
And man, those dudes, Roberta and Richard they had a commitment to being like, hey, you don't think you're buying. What's funny is they were doing it at the start. They were like it before Born Chic, and they're like, you know what? Screw it. Like, let's just freak people out with the stuff that we're doing. And it's there. I mean, it's something else.
There's a scene in one of them where he's poking at the girl with the lobster claws before he electrocutes her through her earrings.
Yeah, kiss of her flesh. Yeah, that's how it starts. That's the first scene in the movie.
You sit there, and my jaw was on the floor. I have that on the old Image DVD where all three of them were up years ago.
Yeah, Vinegar Syndrome re-released it this year, and I was
I know.
But what is this sex through a window? I saw this on your site and I'm super excited about it.
Extreme
I'm-
Close-Up.
Yeah, it's a
It's a
movie
Michael
from
Crichton movie I have not seen.
Yeah, Michael Crichton wrote it, and Janelle Swartz directed it.
Ooh,
And
of Jaws 2.
it was his first theatrical film. It was called Extreme Close Up, and then in 1977, it got rebranded Sex Through a Window, and it had this horror-esque ad campaign,
Wow.
which is, this was 77. This was before Halloween. So it didn't even have that angle for it. It was just, and it played on Cinemax After Dark as Sex Through a Window for a number of years.
Wow. Yeah, it's played on Cinemax After Dark, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Then I probably saw it. I just don't remember that.
There's a bumper of it on YouTube you can see of
Oh.
it playing on Cinemax After Dark.
Oh, man.
But there's a poster in here. Let me see if I can find it. I forget which story. There it is. That's the original ad
Oh, wow.
for when it played as Michael Crichton's Extreme Close-Up.
Wow. I love the Prince logo.
Oh, it's beautiful. Well, that's what I used that font to do our names for the intro.
Mm-hmm.
That's
But the inside, what do you call it? Like the inside, like of the letters, like how it has that like structure.
Yes.
Like that's such an old font thing that doesn't happen anymore.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. That was it. You'd see that a lot. It has like, it's like kind of an Art Deco influence in font. And yeah, you don't see it anymore.
I clipped the wrong ad. I meant to show the one where it was playing with Cries and Whispers.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm trying to track down that movie. This is just beautiful. This gets the full screen.
Wow.
And this was in 1977.
Yeah.
This double feature played in Phoenix.
Oh my God. I love Hercules in the Haunted World so much. It's in the same, in the same way that like Planet of the Vampires uses one room with rocks moved in different locations. It does it with Greek columns. It's like just fill green fog everywhere. And it's so good. Christopher Lee's amazing in it.
Yeah, it's genius. Genius.
That Mission Stardust font, Bill, is unbelievable. It's like solid gold almost.
Yeah, it's just beautiful.
Oh man. What a night. King Kong is coming too, by the way.
He is?
The big monkey is coming soon. It says on the top left there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow,
These movies are well over 10 years old at this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just
pushing
really,
for more.
Especially Mission Stardust. I mean, like that's super low budget if I remember.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This one was interesting because the Apache Drive-In, it was a triple screen by this point. This is 1977.
Yeah.
And that double feature of the Sentinel and Earthquake, I said on the page, they should have hired people to go around and like rock people's cars during the earthquake sequences like Ray Dennis Steckler would have.
Oh, they should have sent people out in cash flag masks. You know who directed Challenge to White Fang, Bill?
Who?
Lucio Fulci.
I didn't know that.
One of his few kid-friendly movies.
So they put it with an R-rated horror movie because it's also about a dog.
Yeah, and cinematographer Joe D'Amato on that one. Oh, I've never seen House by the Lake, Bill. Would I love it? I think I probably would, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's on Daily Motion.
Oh.
You can watch it on there as Death Weekend. That's the original title.
You know what?
Exploitation.
It's almost time for my yearly watch of the Sentinel, and I'm going to have to probably call a couple days off of work just to prepare and just get ready for it.
I love Who Killed Teddy Bear.
Mm.
It is another great voyeur movie, but I really want to see Extreme Close Up now. It sounds so good.
Me too.
Mm. Oh, yes.
Speaking of The Farmer, coincidentally, it was time to show the ads for The Farmer on the page. So, Philip Duke, Quentin Tarantino, I'm sorry, Making Tarantino, the podcast is the title.
We talked about this, Philip and I talked about this in the show. When this played drive-ins and especially grindhouses or, theaters Grindhouse style theaters with Taxi Driver. I really think that the Farmer may have been more crowd pleasing because the Farmer isn't as ambiguous as Taxi Driver. Like, you don't. Travis Bickle is a very hard person to get behind, versus the Farmer is like so good at what he does. Like, he's not a morally compromised person at all. He wouldn't take a girl to a porn theater on the first date. Do you know what I mean?
That makes him boring to me.
Yeah, I love
No,
him.
but
I think he's
Sam, as you said on Phil's podcast, though, he has a moral code.
yeah.
He's good at killing people.
He's great at killing people. Like, he's like Jason at the end of that movie. Like, once it takes like 70 minutes for him to get, like, they have to kill his best friend. They have to rape his girl. They have to kill his horses and burn his barn. And he's like, finally, he's like, fuck it. Yeah. Like, I'm going to show you guys why I had the Silver Star. And he just goes nuts, shoots that dude in the leg and garrots somebody. Like, it's intense. It's great.
And it has Angel Tompkins in it she was always on in the 60s, the cover of Argosy magazine or Saga. And she's in Mad Doctor of Blood Island, too.
Oh, that's right. She's also the teacher. That's where I know her from.
The teacher.
Doesn't she become the farmer's wife at the end?
I think you're led to believe that she will, yeah. Because I don't want to spoil it, but if you listen to the podcast, I'm going to spoil it like 5 times and talk about the ending in depth. But, the Fama. Another movie that I thought I would never get to see. It got pulled off of YouTube every time it went up.
Same here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it lives up to it for me. It's got such a strange score. And what's amazing, Bill, is the same guy that did the score, did the theme for I Dream of Jeannie and the Partridge Family, and was a huge Moog musician too. Like, he also covered The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and it went to number 2 on Billboard charts.
Hugo Montenegro.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which is really wild. So,
oh, I went the wrong way.
Oh,
I love those sounds you make when the ad for the car comes on.
I love the car so much, Bill. I heard somebody the other day say, the car's kind of crappy. And I said,
No,
it's not. It's not. It's great.
I'll
movie
not hear
Becca
it.
still has not watched it yet. Will not watch it.
That's okay. She's saving it for later in life.
Yeah. It's the kind of movie that I wish I had not seen so I could see it for the first time again.
I know.
Because it's so good. How many movies where you're like, I can't spoil it if people haven't seen it, but there's a shocking moment where you're like, certainly this person won't be killed.
Yeah.
And the car's like, fuck you. We're going to do it as big and as out of control as we can. And you're like, I can't believe that happened.
It happens in a place where a car normally shouldn't be.
Like, how could a car get her or him, whoever? How could a car get this person?
Get her.
And you're like, certainly.
That was your big plan. Get her.
Yeah, get her. Yeah.
Well, you guys mentioned this before. That's a Universal picture that feels like a regional horror film.
Oh, it totally does. Yeah. It feels like absolute junk, and yet it has a good cast.
It's well made too.
Yeah.
Well, it's so silly. That's what makes it seem like junk,
because beyond belief.
It's really a dumb idea. But I don't know. I think by the end, it manages to be pretty ominous. Like, even though
it's silly. Really dark because nearly everyone that James Brolin's character loves is either in danger or dead. Like, it has taken over his town that he feels a responsibility to. They also have that amazing map, that like 3D map of the town, of all the streets. Like, pre-internet, they had to build a giant thing. Yeah, I agree with Daryl. It's Jaws. It's pretty much
that Native American dispatcher. She needs her own TV series or her own movie.
My God. I want a car HBO Maxi series that people are like, but I want it to be like done by really great directors. Do you know what I mean? And to be like a prestige series. And people are like, why are these? Why are these great directors? Why are these great directors wasting their time remaking the car? And like, well, some maniac from Pennsylvania won Mega Millions and he's bankrolled a $400 million remake of the car. And that's what he's doing with this money. And he loves the car. James Brolin will be in it. He'll probably be the face of the devil when it blows up. Oh, man. And it's going to start, Bill. It's going to start in Los Angeles, just like the the alternate end credits where you see the car drive. When that played at the drive-in and we saw that,
Oh,
Roger, I will tell you, I probably have said on the show before, my grandfather bought a horn for his El Camino that sounded like the car because he watched the car so much on HBO. And when he would come home from the mill, we'd all be sitting there and we'd see the lights. He would drive the car through the front yard up to the window, just like the car, and hit that horn. I was like 7, and I would freak the
oh
fuck
my
out.
God! I could kiss that man for doing that. That is
Oh,
brilliant.
yeah. And he'd be like, oh, he'd come in and be like, Sammy, did you see the car? It was out there. And I was like, and my mom would
Hell
get so upset.
yeah!
She's like, Dad, don't scare him. And he's like, but the car's out there. He has to be careful. Don't swear around the car because when you swear, it comes after you.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, that was his theory that like even though it was a demon, if somebody swore, then they were showing that they had lower morals and it could kill them. He had like we would sit around at dinner and discuss the car. Like I wish I could go
Interesting
back in time.
interpretation of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is it the devil or is it someone like we would have long discussions about this. I came from the right family, obviously. So yeah. A big man, an HBO classic. Oh, Bill, I've never seen Demon Seed. Can you believe that?
Oh, come on.
Wow.
I know.
It's good.
Yeah,
It
I've seen
is.
everything. I just saw The Shoot Us, by the way, because Arrow put it out, and man, that movie is depressing.
It is.
But it's great. Oh, it's so good. King Kong and The Shoot Us. It's like, hey, do you like sad endings? Have we got a double feature for you?
I know.
It's Alive and Black Christmas is wild though. I like that. Man.
I think it's inspired. It's Alive. This was the second time around, by the way, for It's Alive, because the first time it was released, it was just sort of like the studio wasn't behind it because they just sort of buried it because like the regime had changed over and it was these people that didn't care about movies like that, so they just kind of like screened it on 2 or 3 screens and then left it. Whereas like then the regime changed again and Larry Cohen took it back to them and was like, would you like consider putting this out again? And they did in 1977 and it was a big hit. It made like $7 million.
One
They
of the
played the CBS
greatest,
late movie too.
yeah, one of the greatest TV spots
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I
ever.
was so afraid of the TV commercial as a kid because I thought that maybe the demon baby could see me through the TV. I don't know. I was a weird kid. And I would just cover my eyes and just yell until I couldn't hear the commercial anymore. It
There's
was so
only one
intimidating.
thing wrong with the Davis baby.
Ah!
It's alive.
Oh, what a great trailer.
Great
I'm a
trailer,
fan
great
of-
movie.
The movie
Great
could
movie.
not live up to that trailer, though. I was
No.
really
No.
disappointed with It's Alive.
No movie could live up to that trailer.
Or the Suspiria TV commercial with the skeleton woman combing her hair, which is like, what?
No, it
Oh.
did live up to the skeleton woman.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, more it outdoes the skeleton woman.
Argento liked it so much he used it in the sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Skeleton woman in it.
Yeah.
Notice the bottom double feature there from MGM. You have Demon Seed, and you have half of one of the last natural double features by a major studio, Daughters of Satan, with
Yeah.
Tom Selleck in it. That played with Super Beast.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mhm. As if Demon Seed is about the occult. It's not.
No.
Tracy has a great question. How is King Kong an original movie, motion picture, when it's a remake?
I'm still trying to figure that out myself.
I'm going to go to Burger Chef before we go to the Apache Bill, and we'll get cups so we can be cool. And maybe you bring the booze so we can make that King Kong drink we saw in the newspaper.
I had King Kong glasses in
Yeah, me too.
1976. I had a whole set.
Oh, the glasses were amazing.
I know the marketing blitz around King Kong is kind of lost today.
Mhm.
You know, that it was something you could not escape.
Yeah.
And then it came out and everyone's like, oh, it's bad. And there's this actress in it, Jessica Lange. She's not going to go anywhere. She's terrible. Ha, ha, ha.
Mhm.
How about that
People.
giant jet that he has in his hand in the promotional art that doesn't look like anything? It's like
Yeah,
400 foot tall.
there's nothing in the movie that's like that. I think I showed this last week.
Yeah, but let's see it again.
If I
right?
did, I apologize, but it's worth a second viewing. Torso and the Texas Mass Chainsaw Acre.
That's a regular double feature.
Yeah, that's from Joseph Brenner. That was the re-release. Enter the psychosexual mind.
Torso. Wow.
From the man who
Wow.
brought you Dr. Zhivago, Carlo Ponti, comes Torso.
I think Carlo Ponti was like, I know that I have the hottest wife in the world, but I'm going to bring Torso to people. Arguably one of the hottest wives in the world, Sophia Loren.
Yeah. Poor Susie Kendall.
Oh, poor
Oh,
Susie
now
Kendall.
who on earth would want to harass poor Susie Kendall?
Car Wash and Hard Times is a good double feature too.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't get any art.
Mm-mm.
I'm offended by that.
Mm.
All right, I think that's the end. Yeah, we're back to Sex Through a Window.
Through a window.
Never forget Sex Through a Window. I'm still looking for it.
What if we retitled it "Don't Have Sex Through a Window"? Isn't that better?
Don't open the window to have sex.
Yeah.
Could be one of those.
Don't put your
movies.
dick in the window.
Right. Don't.
It's
if
a glory
you're thinking
window.
of opening the window,
Yeah.
don't. If you're thinking of going in the basement, don't. If you're thinking of seeing this movie, don't.
Don't.
Edgar Wright.
I still want to see the movie.
Yeah. Almost
Oh,
every
I know.
other Grindhouse trailer has been made into a movie now with Thanksgiving. Other than Don't. We're getting another Thanksgiving pretty soon, too. They're making a sequel.
Already?
Yeah. Why not?
Wasn't
It's
it
a
just
hit.
last year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how they do it, Bill. Them slashers. We're never getting another Friday the 13th. We're getting a million Halloweens. And,
Why are we never getting another Friday the 13th? I
the
don't know.
rights are all screwed up. They're idiots. Like, it's
Oh,
just... Hey, there is a new Halloween game coming out for computers, PlayStation, and Xbox
yeah.
by Retro Grounds, and it comes with it's bundled with an Evil Dead game. They're both side shooters. They look like ghouls and goblins, and if you get the coolest thing that Bill is if you buy it's $100, so I'm not buying it. But if you buy the Halloween edition, you get arcade tokens with Michael Myers and Laurie Strode's face on them, which is pretty cool. You got to admit. And there is going to be a Halloween game, like a full next gen game. Same company's making this year too, which could be cool. The Friday 13th game was fun. There's a Chainsaw Massacre game too, which is out. If you're into that.
You reminded me, Sam, this week of a game that I had completely forgotten, but I played was the John Woo game, Stranglehold.
Oh, yeah. It was a good game. It was fun.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
You got to be Chow Yun-fat and shoot bad guys.
Yeah. I mean, what else do you want from a game? That's exactly what... it's so wild to me that now every movie has gun fu in it, but when The Killer and Hard Boiled made it to the US, it was I got those at Incredibly Strange too, Bill. That's where I found them.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I can't believe how good The Killer is. And there's a new Killer on it's on Netflix now.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but I heard.
Yeah.
I finally caught up with the movie Woo had out last year, Silent Night.
Yeah, is that any good?
No. Well, I give it 2.5 out of 4. I mean, it has John Woo action scenes, but it has a gimmick that's really a silly, unneeded gimmick, which is there's no dialogue in the entire movie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
So you're supposed to just pay attention to the video or the the set pieces, but the characters do not talk, or when they talk, it's like in a distance or it's mumbled, and maybe you'll hear a voice on a radio, and that's it for 90 minutes.
I was thinking about when he did Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon came out here, and people are like, it's a great movie, okay? But people are like, oh, it's so crazy, it's so wild. I'm like,
no.
Shaw Brothers Wuxias are insane, by comparison. They will you're not ready for the movie drugs that they're about to unleash on you versus like, this is good, but it's like, but you got to start off. You can't start off with black tar heroin. You got to start with the regular heroin. At least that's what I believe.
Yeah, I grew up on Master of the Flying Guillotine and
Yeah.
Five Deadly Venoms and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And like these things happen where people are like running down swords and all this crazy stuff happens. And you're like, yeah, it's good. But, guys, thanks for doing the show. Happy birthday. My wife said to tell you, by the way, you look much younger, that she had no idea of your age. And she thought you were much younger. She said,
oh, that's really nice. Tell her thank you.
Yeah.
I had a great time. Thank you for having me on. Best birthday gift ever.
Aww.
Love it. You guys are the best. It's a
thanks
blast.
for dressing up too.
Well, that's tradition.
Yeah.
AC
Remember,
Nicholas.
I'm your host to dress up, and I make the actual cocktails that you have, Sam.
Yeah.
So we try to do it right around here.
This was a more innocent episode because usually you bring stuff like Manus and Lace or Behind Locked Doors.
Locked Doors.
Yeah,
I know.
And my wife will say, "You didn't pick this, did you?" And I'm like, "No, well, no, AC did." And he makes me watch dirty movies. And when he sponsored the site, he said, "I don't know, just watch Young Playthings," and that's why I'm watching it. And he said, "Watch Radley Metzger movies," and I'm watching
Radley Metzger movies, right?
Yeah, and I'm scandalized by it.
Well, you know what I almost picked? I almost picked a movie I did review for your site, I think last month, was Wavelength.
Yeah.
That little science fiction film. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah, it's wild.
I think I remember that.
It has a Tangerine Dream soundtrack, and Cherie Curry's in it.
That's the one, yeah.
And Robert Carradine and Keenan Wynn.
Oh.
He has a pickup truck, a dog, and he's a drunk.
I like when you watch a Godfrey Ho movie and suddenly like 8 Tangerine Dream songs show up.
Yeah.
And they're like, what if Clan of Zymox was in my karate movie? Like it's all 4 AD bands, Bill, that'll show up in these movies. You're like, what are you doing? Like, where did you get these records from, Godfrey Ho, for your like mixed together ninja movies? They're the weirdest thing. Like a lot of
I'm surprised nobody stopped them.
He did it like 300 times.
He was stopped.
He would take a movie from another country and mix in Western ninjas. He would have Americans that were in Hong Kong hire them to be in his movies and like say a couple American lines. And like there's always one scene where they cross over. Most famously, there's one where there's a Garfield phone that the ninjas make the call on, which is astounding. But then you'll have like 5 Sisters of Mercy songs. And while people are fighting, what the fuck? Like they're mind blowing.
Another trope you see in a Godfrey Ho movie is there's usually a shot of somebody on the phone in an old school telephone booth.
Yeah.
And they're shot from behind and they're giving exposition to try to make these disparate movie parts hang together. they're talking into a phone.
Yeah, like you must watch out. And then they always they run out of stuff and then like the ninjas get in a gunfight. Oh my God, Bill, these movies are insane. They're like I can't even explain them, like how they're so jammed together, and they're like almost like DJs mixing sets, like how Paul's Boutique has a billion samples. You don't know where they all come from.
Yeah.
Imagine that as a movie. And then you throw in these like 4AD and like and crazy bands. And it's like, man, this is cinema. Let me tell you. Neon Eagles putting them out, which is another company associated with Cauldron. And they've been putting out a couple of these, and but like the best quality I've ever seen them. Like I've only seen like, the VHS rips of them and like the worst quality Godfrey Ho. Like there are good quality ones. It's pretty wild.
All right.
Anyways, guys.
So thanks again, AC, for being on the show. Happy birthday to you. And
thank you, gentlemen. Thanks for everybody in the chat. I appreciate the birthday wishes. Glad you could hang with us tonight, and I hope you'll have me back on again sometime. I have so much fun doing this show.
I'm always asking you, and most of the time you say no.
No, I don't say no.
Yeah, huh?
No, I said no because I didn't want to, I don't want to wear out my welcome,
Yeah, you'd never do that.
No, too kind.
All right. So have a great week, everybody. We'll see you next week with Steve Ross, and we're watching Star Crash and your Hunter from the Future.
Hunter from the
Be
future.
there.
Aloha.
Under 17 not admitted without parents or guardian. Under 17 not admitted without parents or guardian.